Bit of breaking news here at talkSPORT.
talkSPORT breaking news.
Now, what about this for news on a Monday morning? As if the Super League wasn't big enough news. talkSPORT understands that Jose Mourinho has been sacked. We understand that Mourinho is out of Tottenham. We will attempt to get more information, of course, on this, as we will do, of course, with a story of this magnitude. We're right across it. But talkSPORT understanding is that Jose Mourinho has been sacked. Now, Simon, what would your initial reaction to that be? We know in recent days and weeks that there have been problems with some of the things Mourinho has said publicly. But we also know that this is the same Jose Mourinho that's got Tottenham to a domestic final.
Yeah. Look, I mean, it's been a whispering campaign that's been building up and building up and building up, which he doesn't help himself with. But I think it's a flawed move. I think it was a flawed move to have got him in the first place, because I just didn't think the fit was right between the two clubs. But once you've got him there, 18 months into a job, you've probably either got to back him wholeheartedly or let him go. And it gives you an indication that perhaps Tottenham are not in the business next year of spending a lot of money.
Timing is bizarre. I mean, you can talk about how the level of style or how well they should have done or shouldn't have done with the squad they've got. Ultimately, they're a week away from a final that they could win, which means a trophy.
Yeah.
And they are still, although a little bit short, got a chance if they went on a good run from now to the end of the season of getting in the top four. So the timing of it's bizarre for me.
Or the flip side of that sort of Machiavellian argument is
the bounce.
The bounce.
Without
or
Harry
if
Kane
they win the League Cup under Mourinho, they wanted to take him out anyway. They've put themselves in a bit of a devil's position because he goes and wins a cup, and they've got to keep him on that basis.
Yeah, I still think the timing. If you're a group, most clubs I've been out where a manager's gone, whoever comes in, it still takes a week or two for it to implement some sort of stability.
I'm saying they want to lose this final, Danny. What I'm saying is, if they get Mourinho there and he wins the cup on Saturday or Sunday when it's been played, you've got a situation where he's delivered to Tottenham precisely what they want. And if they wanted to get him out, they got a bit more of a difficult situation.
They had enough ammunition to get rid of him whether they won the League Cup or not, because the style of play has been so negative. I don't think the supporters would have been up in arms going, "Oh, he's won us the League Cup, keep him, keep him, keep him." I'm really surprised at the timing of that.
I'm hearing more as you guys are speaking. It's my understanding that Ryan Mason, who we know well here at talkSPORT, and Chris Powell will be in temporary charge. So this is moving. And of course you heard it here first on talkSPORT. So
wouldn't it be
25
nice
past 10 this Monday morning, it's our understanding, Danny, that Mourinho, it's not our understanding, we have broken the news that Mourinho has been sacked by Tottenham. I mean, the reaction to this is going to be unbelievable. 08717 223344. Danny, it's the timing you find bizarre.
Yeah, I don't think the reaction will be that unbelievable. I think the timing's bizarre, but I think the amount of contention there's been.
But there's no sense, Danny. You're at the business end of a season. There's
I've just
nothing
said-
you're
yeah,
going
I
to
said
change.
that, yeah.
Nothing you're going to change. So
Especially
why
when the
do it
Tottenham
now?
fans think Mark's one of the first Tottenham fans to get through to us. Mark, good morning. Your reaction to this?
Yeah, good morning. I was bringing you up to talk to about Daniel Levy, but your person told me that Mourinho had been sacked. Well, I'm lost for words, to be honest. We've got a cup final on Sunday. Is this Levy trying to disguise what he's trying to do? Because it can only be, the Mourinho sacking, they're going to push it under the carpet.
Were you one of those who wanted him out, Mark?
To be honest with you, I was very indifferent to it. I've been supporting the club for 50 years, and when he got appointed, I wasn't bothered about all the Chelsea stuff. At the end of the day, George Graham was worse than Mourinho coming in. But no, I'm really, really very indifferent about it all. But where are we going now? What is going to happen to this football club? Levy gets rid of another manager. I don't understand the timing of it either.
Okay.
Well, I think the timing is the issue. They'll have a plan on what they're going to do next. I don't think Daniel Levy and the hierarchy at Tottenham sit there and just make a decision and then don't know what to do next. There'll be a plan in place.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always, when a big manager leaves a club like this, it creates talking points. The fact is that from a player's perspective, I can try and think of it. It's never, some players will feel better about it. The ones who didn't quite get on with him, or there'll be a spring in the step of some in training, and there'll be a few with their heads down. That's always the way when a manager leaves. Generally, there's few players who are his stalwarts, who get on with the manager, who are disappointed.
Yeah,
it's certainly no guarantee there's going to be a bounce and a positive effect from him going. But the week before a final, and Jose Mourinho, for all his critics, He knows how to win finals. He knows how to set up a team to win games.
Well, it appears now he's not going to get the chance.
He's not going to get the chance, but it's a really strange time to do it.
Tottenham fans, so many football fans coming in with their views on this here, Stuart. I'm not surprised. He started off well enough, but yet again, his attitude has ended up spoiling it for himself.
See, I go against that. I don't think his attitude has been anywhere near as bad as it was in the past.
Well, what do you think has been key, Danny? What has led to him being sacked?
The biggest problem Mourinho's had is the amount of times that the team has been set up too negatively and played on the back foot. Whether he says he set them up like that or not, that's what's been coming through, and that's what the fans have been watching. The style of football has been his downfall.
Yeah,
not the way he's interviewed in the press, not what he said after games. The style of football is done.
We're going to crack on. We're going to crack on. No half-10 bulletin at this stage because the volume of calls speaks for itself. Ben's a big Tottenham fan. Ben, good morning to you.
Morning, you all right?
I'm good, mate. What's your reaction to this? Did you want him there? Did you want him out?
It's been a rough season, but I'm kind of what you guys have been saying. I question the timing of it right before the cup final. I think I would have wanted him out maybe in the summer. I don't see the logic of actually sacking him this late into the season because the damage is already done. Really, we've had a really bad season. I just don't understand the logic of it, and I don't know if it's got anything to do with the Super League or not. Obviously, that would be speculation, but it's weird, isn't it?
I can't see it. I mean, making the decision now, though, Ben, what does that suggest to you? That he's lost the dressing room? That's what it suggests to me.
You'd think so. Obviously, there's been players. The Paul Pogba interview in the week was the big thing. You sort of hear what he was doing with Shaw. We all knew it from a few years ago at United, but the treatment of players this season has not been good. Dele Alli obviously being probably the biggest name, being sort of frozen out. But every bar, maybe like Kane, Son, Lloris, most players have had the time when they've been on the sidelines for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Steven Bergwijn. I mean, the defensive part, how many defensive combinations have we had this season? And we're still trying new ones.
Sure.
Played with about 5 at the weekend.
Ben, what about this? A lot of Tottenham fans, there is one, there's another. What about Josie out, Bielsa in? How do you fancy that?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, man, it's growing arms and legs.
I don't think he'd go.
Ben, listen, thanks for that. Andy, Tottenham fan. Good morning, Andy.
Morning, gents. How are we doing?
Good,
all right,
mate.
mate. Yeah, good.
Good. Look, it's just my take on it. Obviously, what's going on today, mega day in football. I reckon it's because of what's going on at Bayern Munich. Because Hansi Flick wants a Germany job, and Bayern will go either Nagelsmann. Levy has gone early to get him.
Well, you think Levy's made his move and he's gone for Nagelsmann, he's gone elsewhere. You never know. I mean, you never know. One move can lead to another. There's probably so much going on in the background. But I tell you what, Andy, it will be one hell of a financial hit to Tottenham to sack him.
Yeah, but, you know, leave it. Do you know what? I obviously been following them for 40-odd years, and we have just... You spoke to me just before Christmas, Jim, when we were top of the league, and you went to me, "Are you going to win it?" And I went, "Yeah, go on. Yeah, I reckon we will." And we went on a month-long absolute nightmare. So...
Yes.
You know, Jim, don't ever ask me again.
I remember that. Listen, don't worry about that. Andy, thank you. So many... James, Tottenham fan, we'll have you on. What do you want to say, mate? Good morning.
Morning, guys. How are you?
Good, thanks, James. What's your take on this? Mourinho gone.
Well, I've called in a few times after some games recently, and you know what it is? Spurs have a brand of football we've been so famous for so long, way before I was even born. And we lost our identity, and I've been calling for this for a while now. In terms of what you just said, re the financial impact, we were in massive decline under Jose, and it would have been a far greater financial impact long term if we had kept him, in my opinion. And the fact that he's gone and, you know, someone young looking to prove himself, who's Tottenham through and through, is going to take over till the end of the season, it looks like.
Yeah.
I think that it's a positive thing. I'm not so sure we'll get Nagelsmann now. The Bayern job's free. If it was me, it would be Brendan Rodgers. If he fancies a challenge at a big club, with no disrespect to Leicester, they're obviously flying. but it's, in my opinion, a different kettle of fish.
Okay,
there's a trigger for this.
Thank
Jim.
you, James.
There's a trigger for this. Something's happened. The timing stinks. It's not something you would logically do as Daniel Levy's the owner of a club. You know, there's something's triggered it. Something's happened.
Exactly. There must be some huge
There's either been a
breakdown
huge
behind the
conversation, or Daniel's got somebody in who's saying he wants there now because he needs some time, and he's thinking I've got to do it now or never. You know, something. There's a trigger. There's no logic to getting rid of him a week before a final. Honestly, that doesn't make any sense to me from a footballing point of view.
Simon, you've been very quiet. What's your take on this?
No, I'm listening to the general consensus of opinion. I think Danny's absolutely right that there's a trigger. What that trigger is, we'll find out in the fullness of time.
Yeah.
I sort of scoff at the idea that you're going to go and get managers coming out of Bayern Munich to manage Tottenham, because with the greatest will in the world, despite this nonsense about Super League, of which Tottenham...
No, they didn't say that. He didn't say the Bayern manager's taking the Germany job, and
right.
the Leipzig manager...
Okay.
He's going to go Munich, and they're saying Daniel's going to try and get.
So he's going to try, So he's going to try and take someone that might be destined for Bayern Munich then. But with Tottenham and with Mourinho, Tottenham have not. I mean, I did an analysis the other day where Tottenham have spent, of the 6 clubs that are in the top 6 now, the least amount of money in the last 5 years. Yeah. You know, paying Mourinho off is nothing. You've just paid Bale a whole bag of money. That's a waste of money that you spent on Bale. You'll pay Mourinho off and move forward. But it's really about what they're trying to achieve and what their model is. Because I don't see Daniel Levy bringing somebody in that he's going to give an inordinate amount of money to. No. So someone's coming into what is, I'm sorry, Tottenham are not good enough. They've not got good enough players. They've not got good enough defenders. They rely very heavily on a couple of individuals to be able to get them out of the cart that they put themselves in regularly. So whoever you put in there is going to struggle unless they are back to the level that the teams they're trying to eclipse are.
Simon, a lot of people are trying to add 1 and 1 and make 2. Are they successful in doing that when they say the timing of it? The day after the news breaks about the European Super League,
can't see
the
that.
timing of this.
So what we say? Are we talking about Jose having some moral compass there and saying, Daniel, if Tottenham are involved in the Super League, I'm out, and then Daniel's gone, well, I'll sack you.
No, I think the other side of the argument is that Tottenham will be planning on getting a big bag of money, so they're not really bothered about paying off Jose Mourinho. Neither one of them fit. First of all, the European Super League is not going to happen. Second of all, it's a long way from happening. And third of all, Tottenham will pay Jose Mourinho off because they're making a footballing decision based upon something that's happened. You know, whether it's Kane's injury, whether it's a lack of interest in winning the League Cup, and a lack of focus on the fact that Mourinho winning a cup will almost cement him at Tottenham. I know you don't have that argument, but it's not beyond the wit of man to think Machiavellian stuff comes into play. But
I understand
it's very strange.
Argument, but
well, now we know that Ryan Mason and Chris Powell will take over for the time being. Mourinho sacked. If you're just tuning in this morning, if you're watching us on YouTube and Facebook, that is the breaking news. Boy, is it breaking news this morning, as if the news about the Super League wasn't big enough. Jose Mourinho sacked by Tottenham. It's not often you see listeners just calling in to say, wow. Michael Scott, wow. Michael White, half an hour into your show, Jim, and it's gone mad. You're not wrong there. Mitchell White. There's Chucks. Jim White, wow, and wow. Big news, you're not wrong. James is a Tottenham fan. James, good morning.
Good morning, Jim, and all your guests, Simon.
Hi, James.
I am delighted Mourinho's gone, but I don't think it's a conspiracy theory. I think that he's been, Mourinho has been finished at Tottenham for the last couple of months. You can see the players aren't interested. They're not playing. Tactically, he's just a mess. And I don't think Tottenham have got anything to lose. And I think Simon broached on it in a way that if Mourinho won and beat Manchester City, which the way they're playing the last couple of weeks is not beyond the realms of possibility, I think it would make it more difficult for Levy to sack him.
Why?
And Mourinho would cement his position.
Why would it make it more difficult?
Because I think that Mourinho will say, listen, I'm the first manager...
It doesn't matter what he says, because
I've won a trophy in my first full season. I think it would make Mourinho, Levy's... It would make it more difficult. It would muddy the water. Tottenham have got nothing to lose.
It would muddy the water.
They've got nothing to lose. The players will be, as you know what happens, they'll be rejuvenated. They'll play Dele Alli. They'll play Gareth Bale. They will want to do their best for Tottenham now he's gone. And I think that even if they lose the cup final, I think it will be for the best for Tottenham, because it cannot go on the way it's going on. I mean, you look at the way Chelsea played the other day against Man City, and I was watching them, and the way their defence was structured. I know they're better players, but Mourinho has lost all sense of a reality with the way that Tottenham play. I mean, it's just, it's not even embarrassing, it's tragic. And I think to save himself, quite frankly, I think he's better not to be there.
Wow.
But I think
Okay.
it can only benefit, really.
That's me saying wow now. Okay,
I
James, thank you for that. Do you know what, Simon? A lot of people are saying that down in Belfast, Spurs fans probably wanted Mourinho gone for a while.
Yeah,
for a while.
But that's true. We agree with that
Yeah.
because of the way they've been playing.
Yeah.
But I think I don't think the timing of it is it's just really strange the week before the final. If you think that they're going to have an uplift because he's gone, the players, or he was going to be in a better position to keep his job if he won it. I mean, that for me, Daniel Levy's not going to have a problem. If he sacks him, he's got to pay him the same whether they won the League Cup or not. And there's not a Tottenham fan, if they'd have won the League Cup, who'd have come on and said, well, we should have stayed and Daniel's wrong.
I think it muddies the water slightly. I
understand
what your sentiment is.
Maybe.
But I think you're right, Danny. You touched on it a minute ago. You think something seismic is going on behind the scenes to
maybe
bring
not
this
seismic,
about.
but I think something's triggered it. Normally, Simon's been in this position as an owner where he sacked managers probably at a time where fans have gone, why have you sacked him? Now, I don't think that's happening now. We've not got a mass of Tottenham fans going, why is he gone, why is he gone? It's not that much of a shock. But I can't see.
Look at this.
I can't
It's
see.
a shock.
No, as in the way they've been playing.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of Tottenham fans are coming on saying they're happy, positive.
They're giving it the thumbs up. But I think a lot of them have been taken totally by surprise by it this morning. And as you say, it's the timing. Darren's another Tottenham fan. Darren, what's your hitting this? Good morning.
Hi. I have to say, from the start, I was quite a big Jose Mourinho fan. Now, things have gone wrong, and you can't take away from that. However, I want to raise the point that the vast majority of the players who play for my football club should look in the mirror this morning and be ashamed of themselves. They didn't want to play for Pochettino, they got him the sack.
He's right.
They don't want to play for Mourinho, they've got him the sack. How about most of those players, the vast majority of those players, do not deserve to put on the shirt of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. They're a disgrace. And Danny, you probably won't agree with me because you're an ex-player. They did get rid of Poch, didn't they? They stopped playing for him. They stopped playing for Mourinho. They'd probably stopped playing for Pep Guardiola if they didn't like him as well.
A lot of the players played for Pochettino for 3 or 4 years at a very, very high level, and he arguably got the best out of some of those players who played at levels they never thought they could play at, collectively and individually.
But he's saying they stopped. No one.
Everyone stops. It never continues.
So you've got to change and you've got to refresh, right?
Yeah.
And where does
So that's not always the player's fault.
Okay, but you've got to refresh and you've got to change. Where does that responsibility lie?
What, the change?
Any change that you're able to make to be able to, if you're going to compare and contrast about trying to say Chelsea, for example. Chelsea look wonderful. They spent £250 million on transfers, right, in the summer to be able to change it up, right? What have Tottenham spent to change things up? How can you change things up if you're working with the same tired old cloth?
Well, you can't. And the argument I think you're bringing forward is that Mourinho hasn't been given enough tools to do the job properly to compete.
In part.
I would agree with that.
In part.
I would agree with that. I'm coming against him when he's saying, OK, some players maybe haven't, like always, there's always some players who don't perform to the level for whatever reason. The relationship doesn't go well with the manager, they've got injuries, etc., etc. But I can't have the argument that some of those Tottenham players for a period have got Pochettino out.
Oh, that's right.
So a lot of those players excelled under Pochettino and helped him got the job he's got now.
Sure.
A lot of those players changed. Look at Dele Alli.
They didn't, though, Simon.
But look at the change in Dele Alli.
That's one. The majority of that Tottenham squad has been there a long time.
An instrumental player. Look at the centre-backs. Look at the performances of some of those players. Look at the decline in Lloris.